How to know the functions of steroidal hormones in humans. This article is an overview about the physiology of steroidal hormones in humans. Steps 1. Be familiar with steroidal hormones. Steroidal hormones are one class of hormones in the blood of humans that have common chemical characteristics. This type of hormones is distinguishable from the other hormones in the body by its being insoluble in the blood plasma. This fact imparts to these organic compounds much different patterns of function in the body. In addition to steroidal hormones, there are other types as well in the body, such as protein hormones, which are the predominant type of hormones in the body of humans. This article will discuss the steroid hormones only. 2. Know the chemical and physical properties of steroidal hormones. Steroidal hormones are, by virtue of their insolubility in the blood plasma, unable to travel to its target locations by itself. Namely, it has to be bound to a chemical compound that makes it soluble in water. This can be achieved by binding the steroid hormone to a carrier macromolecule that can be a large protein. This in turn can make soluble the whole complex in water. It is well known that most proteins are soluble in the blood plasma. This is so due to their hydrophilic chemical structure that is obtained due to the charged amino acids residues on its molecular skeleton. Also, steroid hormones have completely different biochemical, synthetic pathway in the body of humans than the protein hormones. 3. Study also the other types of hormones in the body. Usually protein hormones are produced biochemically by translational processes that involve the genetic material of specific cells in the body. This translational process is not observed in the biochemical synthesis of steroidal hormones. Steroids in general are obtained in the body by biochemical processes that involve the molecules of cholesterol. This includes also the steroidal hormones of the various endocrine glands in the body. In addition, the cellular signaling of steroidal hormones is completely different than the other type of hormones. This is so by virtue of their insolubility in water. 4. Know the physiological consequences of the chemical characteristics of steroidal hormones. Steroidal hormones have hydrophobic chemical structure that allows them to easily penetrate the phospholipid bilayer of the targeted cells. This is not observed with protein hormones that possess hydrophilic chemical structure. This hydrophilic chemical structure forms a barrier against free penetration of protein hormones into the targeted cells. The cellular phospholipid bilayer is usually hydrophobic in its chemical structure. This in turn makes these membranes very selective for the entry of molecules into the cells. Entry of most compounds into the cells of the body is usually an assisted process that uses special transport mechanisms such as active transport across the cellular membrane. 5. Learn the mechanism of entry of these hormones into the cells. The entry of steroidal hormones into targeted cells is in most cases a free diffusional process that is possible energetically due to the similarity of physical properties of these two entities. Known steroidal hormones in the body of humans are hormones that are secreted by the adrenal glands and by the gonads in both males and females. Gonads refer to the sexual organs in both sexes that specialize in the physiological process of reproduction. The adrenal gland secretes mostly steroidal hormones into the blood plasma that are of 3 known types. In addition, this gland secretes also other hormones that are not steroids in their chemical structure, such as the amino acids derivatives norepinephrine and epinephrine. Steroidal hormones of this gland are called aldosterone and cortisol, in addition to other steroidal hormones that have androgenic characters. 6. Know the types of steroidal hormones of the adrenal gland. Androgens in the body are steroidal hormones that are precursors of the male and female sexual hormones testosterone and estrogen. Androgens of the adrenal gland are mostly important clinically in diseases of the adrenal cortex in females. This is so because most androgens in males are secreted by the testes through the cellular type that is called Leydig cells. These cells are located in the tissue of the testes in males and specialize in the synthesis and secretion of testosterone into the blood plasma. Excessive synthesis and secretion of adrenal androgens is clinically more important in females than in males. Clinical symptoms of androgens excess in females can be manifested by the development of male-pattern sexual characteristics such as the buildup of hairy skin and deepening of the voice. 7. Be familiar with the sexual steroidal hormones in humans. Estrogens and testosterone are the other types of steroidal hormones in the plasma of the human blood. These hormones travel also in the blood with the assistance of carrier molecules that make them water-soluble. Usually these compounds are water-soluble large proteins. All steroidal hormones in the blood of humans are under the negative feedback control of hormones that are secreted by the anterior aspect of the pituitary gland. Disorders that involve either of these two hormonal excesses can lead to endocrine pathology that is associated with deficiency or excess of these hormones in the plasma of the blood. Cortisol and aldosterone are two steroidal hormones that are synthesized and secreted by specialized cells of the adrenal cortex. These two hormones have very important and basic functions in the body that is crucial for maintaining state of life in the humans. 8. Learn about the biochemical disturbances that involve these hormones. Disturbances in the concentrations of these steroidal hormones in the blood can lead to clinical symptoms of endocrine origin. Also, biochemical disorders in the synthesis and secretion of these hormones into the blood can be manifested by clinical symptoms as well. These biochemical disorders are usually of genetic origin that involve dysfunctional coding of the synthesis of these hormones in the DNA of cells that are specialized for the synthesis of these hormones. Steroidal hormones are usually deactivated after their function is complete in the liver using biochemical transformations that modify chemically its structure.